Today we are in transit from the city of La Libertad, or the beach of El Tunco in El Salvador, driving through Honduras and going into Nicaragua. We are going to Leon, Nicaragua today.
Woohoo! New country!
The ride should be maybe like 10 hours.
We most likely won't get there until, I don't know, 1:30 in the morning.
It won't be that long, I don't think.
We'll see.
But I'm also excited to get 2 new stamps in my passport today. We're going to get Nicaragua, which I've already been to like a while ago, and Honduras, which is my 29th country ever.
Doesn't really count, though. We're not going to Honduras. We're just passing through.
I don't know.
Doesn't count.
It counts. So here we are at the exit of El Salvador, and we will be entering Honduras just at the end of that street over there. So we are still here on the now on the Nicaraguan side of the border. It's been a little bit tricky, little bit of a lack of communication, something around like a discrepancy around you're supposed to pay 13, we're paying 15, shouldn't be that much, but that's okay. I think there's a little bit of a self-tip going on. We also had to put our bags through a scanner, so we're like the last people in here. It's kind of deserted. You can see around me there's like not very much. It looks like the whole place is under construction. But yes, we are technically in Nicaragua. We have made it. We've made it out here to Leon, Nicaragua. We came in from El Salvador last night. It was a long ride, and we are super happy to be here, but
It's very hot.
it's very, very, very hot. But this is often a first stop for people coming into the country, for tourists. However, there has been a dip in tourism to Nicaragua lately because of some political struggles that have been happening, some conflict that's been going on here. Fortunately, the situation has calmed down. That's why we are able to come here. We feel totally safe and fine. Leon, Nicaragua is actually the first capital of the revolution here in Nicaragua. Nicaragua had a Sandinista revolution in 1979, and Leon was the first city that was captured by the Sandinista army. So everywhere you look, there's a kind of Sandinista flags and small emblems and monuments to it.
And the Museum of the Revolution is here in Leon.
We will be going there as well. So we're about to get on the roof of the biggest cathedral in Central America. You walk into this small door on the side of the cathedral, you pay 98 Cordobas or $3 per person, and you go up the tiny little stairwell.
Oh gosh, where's this cold breeze coming from? Throw me in there.
Throw her into the cathedral dungeon. Yeah, that's what she wants.
So the Cathedral of Leon was actually built over 2 centuries ago. It was built by the Spaniards, and the design for this particular cathedral was actually supposed to be built in Lima, Peru, but some mix-up happened, and like the designs got swapped or something happened, and the cathedral that was supposed to be built in Peru was built here in Nicaragua, and the one that was supposed to be built in Nicaragua was built in Lima, Peru. So the cathedral in Peru is actually the largest cathedral in all of Latin America, but the cathedral here in Nicaragua is the largest in all of Central America. And it's actually a UNESCO World Heritage Site. And it is also the site of the grave of Rubén Darío, the famous Nicaraguan poet.
All right, we're going up to the roof now.
By the way, did you know we've reached 100 subscribers?
101.
101! So we've changed our URL. It is now customized at youtube.com/c/alongwego. can come up here and do this.
Yeah, they do have some rules and stuff, like you're not supposed to get on the dome, duh. You're not supposed to go sit on the scaffolding that like overlooks the city, yeah. So this is a giant bell dedicated to the memory of Rubén Darío, the famous poet. It's only rung 3 times a year. The oldest bell that's still being used is from 1808. Man, these guys are ripped. The volcano's in the background. If you guys look on the left over there, over that tree, you can see a huge volcano called Cerro Negro. Cerro Negro, I remember really clearly. You can actually go like, almost like snowboarding, but you're sitting down the volcano. Really, really cool, kind of intense. You gotta take your shoes off to walk in this area.
This part of the cathedral has recently been restored. You'll notice the contrast between how white all the domes are here, and those ones are a little like patched out. So you have to take your shoes off if you want to walk on this part, but because it's all white, the floor is not too hot. It is amazing. The white is so stunning and so stark, and all you can see is the like vibrant blue of the sky and the clouds like right on top of you.
Should write a poem about that, baby. Feeling sounding inspired. And tons of volcanoes in the background. And we learned yesterday that every neighborhood in León has its own church or cathedral. And you can see them. You can see the tops of dozens of cathedrals from the top of the roof over here. Megan said something earlier that it kind of looks like Greece, you know? I've never been to Greece, but...
Oh, yeah.
Kind of has...
Just, I mean, those like postcard pictures you see of Greece with just like the white and the blue everywhere. It kind of felt like that right when I got up there.
Okay, so I saw this exact same graffiti last time I was here 8 years ago. It says, Bush, genocida, enemigo de la humanidad. Genocidal Bush, enemy of humanity. I can't disagree with that. And the other one says, muerte al invasor imperialista, death to the imperialist invader. Which, given the history of Central America and the history of Nicaragua, you have to understand. You have to understand where these points of view are coming from. Over here in front of us is the FSLN Revolutionary Museum. So we're going to go inside and check out how the FSLN represents itself and the history of the revolution here in Nicaragua.
Este es el general Augusto Cesar Sandino. Es el padre de la revolución anti-imperialista. Cuando está en México, se contactó con dirigentes políticos, revolucionarios, comunistas, socialistas, sindicalistas, todo tipo de personas, y se formó ideológicamente. A los nicaragüenses, a los centroamericanos y a la raza indohispana. Yo no me rindo. Yo no me rindo. No le entrego las armas a los americanos. Yo quiero patria o libertad. Yo atacar los cuarteles militares norteamericanos en la montaña en el norte. El 16 de julio de 1927 fue el primer ataque de Sandino en Ocotal, Nueva Segovia, en el norte.
In 1927 by the former president Sacasa. We're inside of the Revolutionary Museum here at León, Nicaragua, and we're inside the building where the former dictator of Nicaragua, Somoza, lived for 9 months. It then became a military barrack where people were brought, where there were military operations from. This is the room where Somoza used to address all of his soldiers every morning. And then there was a surprise attack against the Somoza's armed forces. And you can still see bullet holes in the walls. So this is actually where Somoza, when he ruled the country, would address the people of León from this very balcony. This was obviously before the FSLN revolution overthrew the Somoza dictatorship. Wow, you can really visualize it standing up here, right? And the bullet holes in the walls, this is crazy. I guess we're getting on the roof here. Uh-huh.
Los estudiantes de la ciudad querían meter esa música.
Uh-huh. You can imagine this whole building was under siege for 9 months when the local population, the student movement, the FSLN, was trying to kill Somoza and get rid of the National Guard here. So during that time, this building was under really heavy siege. I'm trying to make sure that we are safe walking on this roof right now because it's a little wobbly.
Puedes ver el volcán Momotombo y el volcán Hoyo.
Momotombo y Hoyo. Oh, Jesus Christ. No, eso no lo sé. Phew. All right, off the roof. Good view, but kind of scary.
Talk about intimidating.
Yeah, that was quite a bit. I think that's only the kind of thing I do once. I mean, this building was the headquarters of the Somoza dictatorship, and then this building was sieged for it was under siege for like 9 months by the FSLN, and then it was taken by the guerrillas, and there's still bullet holes in the walls. It kind of has this eerie, abandoned feeling, and you can see some revolutionary artwork on the murals on the wall outside.
Aquí tienen a los libertadores de Latinoamérica. Tienen a Augusto Cesar Sandino de Nicaragua, José Martí de Cuba, Emiliano Zapata de la Revolución Mexicana, Simón Bolívar Suramérica y Farabundo Martí de El Salvador. Tienen al comandante Ernesto Che Guevara. Los estudiantes que se fueron a la montaña y fundaron la guerrilla, el Frente Sandinista, Carlos Fonseca, Silvio Mayorga y Tomás Borges.
Megan, that was intense. That was way more intense than I anticipated.
Yeah, the guide was actually a guerrilla in the Civil War.
Yeah, he was that guy was intense. But I guess if you've seen the things you've seen, I guess that makes sense. What do you think, though?
The museum itself was very good. I mean, it's I don't know in depth the history, but I felt like they covered a lot in the museum. I learned a lot.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I think the museum was really breathtaking. It was like a really great way to experience the history of this place in like a real way, where you're not just reading it off some website or Wikipedia or out of a textbook or something, right? I think that historically it's an amazing place to visit. They have great artifacts, and the perspective is just so firsthand that it's like you can't quite deny the barbarity of what was done to Nicaragua by foreign interests, by the US government, by the Marines here. It was just decade after decade after decade of intervention and war. I feel like this place would have turned out much more prosperous, much more peaceful if it weren't for decades of intervention, obviously. I also think that what we saw in the museum today represents a time in history, a revolutionary period, where that was very inspiring, that is still very inspiring for like revolutionary movements and whatnot. But I don't think it necessarily represents what the current political system and the current outlook and situation here is in Nicaragua. There are certainly problems of corruption and authoritarianism in Nicaragua, and poverty for sure. But those problems, in my opinion, cannot be, unattached from the history of destabilization and intervention in this country. Hey all.
Hi.
Okay, so we are checking out the nightlife here in Leon. It is a Monday night, so we'll just keep that in mind. We're walking around the main square right now, and what's super cool is they have these like pedestrian-only roads that go all around the main square, and you just see locals walking around with their kids and families. We're having a few Tonya beers. Megan got the light one.
Tonya Light. It's pretty watery. I probably wouldn't get it again.
It's like a light of a light. Yeah, but Tonya's the national beer here, so we like
Tonya and Victoria.
That's right.
I think Tonya seems to be the favorite.
Yeah. It has a cool logo too, like a little palm tree. But yeah, we're walking around the plaza. We want to see what is up, and I want you guys to see what is right in front of us right now. This is the gigantona, the huge lady. It's kind of huge. I mean, if there's It's kind of intimidating almost.
It's also part of a big religious celebration that is supposed to be on December 7th. I think part of the religious celebration is that people gather around the how do you say it?
Gigantona.
Gigantona. And there's supposed to be groups of boys like drumming and like putting on big festivities.
Over here you'll also see that there are these really cool like shrines almost. Like I do have like religious tones, like it's almost the holiday season. So they do take the holidays pretty seriously out here. Look how huge this thing is, huh? No strong winds, I hope.
When these kids are performing in front of the Gigantonia, playing the drums, they often recite poetry. It can often just be simple little rhymes, or a lot of them actually quote from Ruben Dario.
Gigantonia. Gigantonia.
Great pun.
I like it. We love
Street food!
Let's check it out, guys. Sometimes it can be a challenge to find vegetarian, but they actually have quite a few veggie options here, like some stuffed spinach, some banana, plenty of cheese kinds, some potato cheeses. We're gonna get gallo pinto, which is the rice and beans. So honey, what's the verdict on your first Nicaraguan street food experience?
I am thoroughly impressed. We walked over here and like you see the grills, so I immediately thought like, oh, they're just grilling up meats, like nothing for us to eat. And then we asked the lady working over there, and they have tons of these little delicious bites to eat. Some are like fried bits of like zucchini, green beans, potatoes, like a little slab of cheese that was grilled up.
Grilled cheese, people, do you hear this?
It's like a hard cheese, so it doesn't melt, but it just gets like really good, almost meaty texture.
And of course I asked them for a huge tub of like vinegar red hot sauce. I do like some spice in my life. I too am impressed. Like sometimes when we're doing street food, it is a real struggle to find anything that's veggie. Here we got a huge plate of vegetarian food for just 90 Cordobas, which is actually really, really good for this mountain of food we just got. Go Nica! Hey folks, so today we have an unexpected beach day. Our hosts at Hostel Vacaciones decided that they wanted to go to the beach and they very kindly offered us a ride so we could join their little adventure. We also had kind of a scare. So something to know about the Pacific Ocean in certain parts of Nicaragua and much of the Central Americas, it's very rough. Like those waves break like right on the beach line. And we were just walking along the beach line and a huge wave knocked Megan down and took her prescription sunglasses. And we were just like, oh, well, we're never gonna find those again. But after like 5 or 10 minutes searching, I actually found her prescription sunglasses in the sand, in the super hard surf. So check out this place called Sua Grill and Chill. Right over here, about 20 minutes outside of the city of Leon, right on the Pacific. Megan really liked this beach. She recommends it for swimming.
I would not recommend it for swimming.
Yeah.
Dip your feet in if you want, but I was literally only up to my ankles when a giant wave came up behind me and knocked me over.
You know, as we've mentioned before, there's been a real fall in tourism, a real decrease in tourism here in Nicaragua due to the ongoing protests and clashes that were happening maybe about a year ago. They're mostly over, although, you know, the political situation is not over by any extent. But because of the fall in tourism, like, guys, there's like no one here. There's all these restaurants and like surf shops or surf rental things, agencies, and we're like the only people on this beach right now. So if you're looking for like a deserted beach, If you're looking for a place that's cool for tourism, but there are no tourists right now, come on down to Nicaragua. Like, I'm a fan.